private area, sir?
Phineas Witmer, private investigator. I have an appointment with Madame Carlisle.
Please wait. Mr. Witmer is Madame Carlisle. Go right.
That is Phineas Witmer, the famous private investigator, hired by Madame Carlisle this morning. I'm curious why he's here. Maybe you should do some detecting yourself, 47.
Looking good, looking good. If you want to pass through, I gotta pat you down. Funny. My mother always said I had good hands. Said I should have been a surgeon. And you are good to go, sir. Thank you.
Mr. Witmer, thank you for coming on such short notice. A great tragedy has fallen upon us, and I need a quick resolution, handled with absolute discretion.
Results and discretion are my speciality.
Very well. I suppose you will want to start at the crime scene.
In my experience, a thorough examination of a potential crime scene is half the job done.
Good. Fernsby will take over from here.
I am Mr. Fernsby, the butler. Madame Carlisle has asked me to assist you in any way possible. Mr. Witmer, I understand that you've travelled from London. Would you care for some refreshments? Or do you prefer to go straight to Mr. Zachary's sleeping quarters?
I prefer to get started.
As you wish. If you'll follow me, sir. I feel obliged to point out that current affairs surrounding Madame Carlisle are of a delicate nature. You may be familiar with the recent announcement of her death. You will probably learn that a staged funeral is scheduled to take place tomorrow. Madame's children were not informed until this morning that their mother was in fact not dead at all. So please bear with them if they seem affected by the rather unusual situation. I trust I do not need to remind you that there will be consequences if word gets out that Madame Carlisle is still alive.
I'll consider her dead when I leave.
Before you inspect the crime scene, I will tell you this. The case concerns the death of Mr. Zachary, Madame Carlisle's younger brother. He was found dead in his bed this morning. The door was locked from the inside, and a suicide letter was found in his room. However, Madame Carlisle suspects foul play and will not accept that he took his own life. I've prepared some information for you, so please do come and see me when you've finished your investigation of the crime scene. This is Mr. Zachary's room, to my right.
A locked room murder mystery, 47. I trust you'll get to the bottom of this. Why don't you use your camera to scan the dead body, 47?
Throat markings indicate a rare, short-lived plant poison killed him. Spread shows time of death at around 10 o'clock last night.
You do know your poisons, 47. Zachary was shopping for new Wellingtons last night. Not exactly what you would expect from someone suicidal. Zachary's suicide note. Also, a sample of handwriting. It could be relevant to compare to other samples to establish its authenticity.
A hidden door.
It's a secret passage. This could explain how the door was locked from the inside. A photocopy of the floor plans. Somebody's been researching the secret ins and outs of Thornbridge Manor. I believe you've done a thorough search of the crime scene, 47. Maybe it's time to see the butler. I'm curious about the information he's prepared for you.
Greetings, sir. Hello, sir.
Looking good today, sir.
Mr. Fernsby, I'm done with the crime scene.
Did you establish a time of death?
Zachary died around 10 o'clock last night.
Well, that means the staff were off duty. And Madame Carlisle and her security didn't arrive until this morning. That leaves Madame's family and myself as the only persons here when he died. And before you ask, no, I do not have an alibi. I was alone in my office at the time of death. Here's the material that I prepared for you. It's a list of the possible suspects and their quarters. Hopefully that will help you keep track of your findings. Please come and see me when you've solved the case, and I will take you to Madame Carlisle.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Witmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlisle?
So, not yet.
Come and see me when you do.
So how does one solve a murder mystery, 47? Motive, means, and opportunity, I believe. May I suggest you ask the suspects for alibis? Or perhaps do you prefer searching the manor for clues first?
Yes, actually, could you speed up time so I don't die from boredom? I fear I may not survive an entire weekend in this shithole.
Perhaps a brisk walk in the garden would do you good.
I said speed up time, not my party. Now just go away, will you?
Of course, sir. I'll come back later.
How very kind of you, dear Mr. Fernsby. I hope to see you soon. Creepy old git.
Patrick Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Shit, it's that sneaky butler, isn't it? He ratted me out. Elaine, give us some privacy, would you? Don't tell Mother, okay? She's really tense these days, and the last thing I need is more hassle. I took that pretty blonde, Rosie, for an evening stroll. I mean, how the fuck am I expected to cope for an entire weekend in this shithole? I'm bored out of my mind. If that's all I think...
What did you think of Zachary?
Creepy as hell. No ambition. Imagine deciding to live in a museum. You know, Father says Zachary and Alexa used to be two of a kind. He had a great future ahead of him. Then suddenly, he just gave up everything. What an idiot. Thank God Daddy chose looks and brains over pedigree when he married Mummy. I don't have to worry about the inbreeding so customary in these circles. So, is that...
Did you see anything suspicious last night?
No. I reckon Zachary topped himself. I know I would have. Or perhaps Mr. Fernsby. I don't like him. He could have done it.
That is the door to Mr. Fernsby's office.
Gentleman. He gave me his coat and all.
Rosie, you need to forget about Patrick. No good's gonna come of it. Stick to your own kind.
You mean like Chris? He treated me like shit. All he wanted to do was play his stupid video games, never any romance. I deserve romance.
How are things coming along inside? Is everything ready for tomorrow?
I can't deal with all this pretend funeral stuff just now. I know I have to, but...
Rosie, tell me what you did last night.
I'm in trouble, aren't I? I spent the evening with Patrick. We met after dinner and I went home at 1 a.m. He said he needed someone real to talk to. When he looks at you, it makes you feel like the center of the universe. Like a real princess.
You're giving me a bit of anxiety, sir. But now he just ignores her.
Well, he's under a lot of pressure.
He's an idiot. That's what he is.
I'm getting a headache from all the decisions. I mean, pram or stroller, comforter or not. Should I ask her to marry me? What if she says no? And then this big funeral thing tomorrow? It's the last thing I need.
You'll be fine, Robbie. Kids are great.
Did you notice anything out of the ordinary? Any strangers outside the house?
No, we saw no one outside. Except Patrick's mother, Emma. We were sitting on the bench behind the greenhouse talking when she came out and we had to hide. You won't tell her about me and Patrick, will you? She'd insist Madame Carlisle fire me. I'm sure of it.
Too right she will. She's always going on about how things will change once she's in charge of Thornbridge Manor.
Feel the hair on my neck stand.
Quite the poem. But you're right. It's beautiful.
Stop pacing, for God's sake, Emma.
But why don't we get any kind of explanation? It's bloody rude, that's what it is. Making us come here to play funeral and then show up like nothing's the least bit strange.
Well, don't get your knickers all twisted.
I'm telling you, she's not fit to be in charge anymore.
Gregory Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Oh, you're wondering about my alibi, Mr. Detective. Well, I left Thornbridge around 8:30 for a pint with Edward. I wish I hadn't. Quiz night at the inn. On the other hand, staying here with Zachary, my obnoxious sister, and the wife sporting another one of her headaches would have been a fate worse than death. The short of it, Zachary was very much alive when we left. I stayed for the last shout, and I was back here just before midnight. Anything else you want?
Tell me about Zachary.
Zach? Huh. Such a sad old sod. A bit heavy on the bottle, but who could blame him? Only company he had was his rare plants and mother, who travels more than she stays here. Honestly, I can't say which is the bigger bore. He's better off dead. Is that...
Anything else you'd like to tell me?
Nothing, really. I'm just enjoying the show. Our perfect mother obviously fucked up, didn't she? Faking her own death. You know, she's explained nothing to us. I think she's scared to own up to her own mistake.
Emma Carlisle, can you tell me where you were yesterday evening?
Surely I'm not a suspect.
I need to account for everyone.
Well, I spent the evening with my family, but I got an awful migraine and had to take to bed. Everyone can attest to that. I believe I went up when the boys sat down for a drink around 8 o'clock. Is that all?
How did you feel about Zachary?
I might as well be honest. His presence was always awkward. But how do you have a meaningful conversation with a man who only cares about plants? In my opinion, Alexa bears some responsibility for how this ended. She supported his self-limiting behavior by letting him live here. Anything else you want to know?
Have you noticed anything else out of the ordinary?
Nothing special comes to mind. Except, perhaps, I did get a
Hello,
feeling
sir.
that Zachary was distressed, not sad.
Tell me what Emma did when she arrived.
What is it now?
She scolded Mary for not making sense.
Hello.
That instrument. You have a way with words, Dad.
That's a little too close.
Professor Edward Carlisle, can you tell me your whereabouts for last night?
Oh, yes, this dreadful business with Zachary. I stay at the local inn. You see, I prefer not to spend the night here at Thornbridge Manor. My brother Gregory came along for a nightcap. He'd never admit it, but I think he understands that I find this whole thing upsetting and wanted to provide some comfort. I believe we went to the Stag's Head around 8:30. Anything else I can do to help?
Can you tell me about Zachary's behavior last night?
I certainly didn't expect him to commit suicide. Sure, he was upset by Mother's supposed death. You were. But he seemed more engaged than usual. You should ask Rebecca. They had a long talk. Did you know that he hadn't left Thornbridge Manor in nearly 50 years? His plants, Mother, and the staff were all the company he had. If that's all?
Did you notice anything else out of the ordinary?
You mean apart from the fact we came here to bury our mother and she shows up alive and kicking? Zachary found 7 dead bodies.
Rebecca Carlisle, can you tell me about yesterday evening?
We don't really see much of each other, my brothers and I. I suppose it takes our mother's funeral to bring us together, and even then, it's not like we sit on each other's laps.
Sir?
Now, let's see. Patrick, Gregory's son, disappeared straight after dinner. You know, I think he might be in some sort of trouble. Edward wanted to go as well, but Gregory convinced him to stay for a few drinks before they went off for a pint at the local at 9:15. I swear Gregory enjoys Edward's discomfort over staying here. I had a conference call with my New York office at 9, so I spent 3 hours on my laptop in my room and went straight to bed afterwards. I don't know about Emma. She did act a bit strange. You know, I bet she was making lists for changes needing to be done once she gets her hands on Thornbridge Manor. Quite the shock she had when Mother arrived during breakfast. Is there anything else you want to...
Tell me about Zachary. Did he act strange last night?
You know, now you mention it, he was a lot more chatty than usual. He wanted to know about my connections in the publishing business. Apparently, a friend of his is writing a book, which strikes me as very peculiar. I didn't think he had any friends. Is that everything, Mr.
Anything else you feel like mentioning?
I may be wrong. And he seemed a bit startled when he saw me in the hallway. It's probably nothing. Oh, and one more thing. Please be kind to Edward. He can only take so much. Is there anything else you want to ask me?
All the groceries around. I heard some of the delivery people were unhappy with the security at the gate. But all that is safe with Ethel. She never misses a step. Gossiping and work, though.
Huh.
There's room for everybody.
How tall are you? You could be a model, you know.
Right.
That is the door to Rebecca's room. I can see from the log that Rebecca was in a conference call from 9 p.m. to midnight last night.
Transfers from the Carlisle account HTC depot number 5085. No, I need it immediately. It doesn't exist. What do you mean it doesn't exist? Right. I'll double check and get back to you.
Hey you! Trespassers will be shot. Not another step! I need you to follow me. Are we clear?
This all confirms that Arthur Edwards stole everything from Madame Carlisle. Perhaps you should let her know how bad it is, 47.
Portrait photographer check out. You verified his identity.
Everything's in order.
Listen to this, Emma. Good old Wampus in a bit of a snag. 16-year-old.
You must have been in some incredibly dangerous situation, right?
Hey, so I don't know, yeah.
That door leads to Emma and Gregory's room. A keychain pendant for the greenhouse. What's that doing in Emma and Gregory's room, I wonder? And why is the key missing? Now this is interesting, 47. A letter from Emma's mother stating that Emma is the illegitimate child of Alexa's late older brother, Montgomery. And listen to this. She claims to have witnessed Alexa and Zachary murder him. The plot thickens.
Have you ever fallen? Maybe we should get back to it. Yeah.
Ah, she should have gone with a better surgeon. Symmetry, symmetry, Emma.
How are you, sir?
Did you give the Fitzpatrick token to Madame Carlisle's daughter?
Rebecca? Yes. She's insistent, that one. She kept asking all kinds of questions. Who had the other one? Why I gave it to her, that sort of thing. You did make sure she didn't see you give the other one to the butler?
Of course.
too busy for my taste.
What is it?
Elaine said she saw her on the top floor, stroking the door to Alexa's office. I kid you not.
And her son Patrick is just as bad. Just look at Rosie. He has no respect. Praying with a girl like that.
So 41 guests will attend the funeral tomorrow. There's still a lot to see to, but we're in good time, I think.
I can't deal with all this pretend funeral stuff just now. I know I have to, but Amy thinks she might be pregnant. I'm going to be a dad.
I remember how it was with the first one. The ones that come after certainly are a lot less of a worry. You always led by example rather than by words and meaningless gestures.
On top of everything, Rosie thinks she's in love with young Patrick. I mean, that's a breaking heart happening if I ever saw one.
Poor thing.
And that detective asked to come here. Madam Carlisle must believe Zachary.
Zachary's diary. This is big. He was about to confess to the world that he and Alexa murdered their older brother Montgomery 46 years ago. And apparently, Mr. Fernsby helped make the murder look like an accident. And 47, the handwriting doesn't match the suicide letter in his room, proving he didn't write it himself.
Along inside. Is everything ready for tomorrow?
I'm getting a headache from all the decisions. I mean, pram or stroller, comforter or not. Should I ask her to marry me? What if she says no?
someone who's been working at home, right?
Well, I guess so. I never thought about it that way.
I'm thinking about the best. I really like to
Whoa.
know how it works. I just need a good deal.
Remain calm. Let us take it from here.
You bet. I don't know her that well. But she doesn't live here, and when she's here...
Hey, what's up with that?
Finally, all set up. Will you let the family know, please?
Perfect. They'll be right down.
Do you mind? I need to be left. I'm not sure I've seen you before. Can you believe this prick? Who does he think he is?
Hey, stop! If you don't stop, there'll be trouble.
I doubt that's true, though. No, he was here when the safe in Madame Carlisle's office was repaired last week. He had to carry some heavy bolt to the top floor to complain about back pain for the entire weekend.
A safe in Madame Carlisle's office. I bet that's where she keeps the file on Arthur Edwards.
Seriously, Denton? What a no.
It feels like I can't breathe in there. The tension is off the charts.
Everything needs to be ready for the funeral. It needs to look good for the family portrait.
I can feel that pressure too.
Her attention.
I don't think so. She really respects you.
If you just stop closing her approval, you made it quick here.
Hey, buddy, hold on a minute.
Hold it right there.
Son of a bitch!
I'll never get how the rich do things. All this fuss for a pretend funeral. And why not do a photo shoot because we're all gathered? Talk about messed up multitasking. And who's carrying the load? I'll tell you who. Us.
Yes, Frank is busting our balls down here too.
Listen, everyone. I understand that you have a lot of questions. Please be patient for a little longer. I will address you in the sitting room afterwards. Right, get in position. Let's get
Good
this
day to you.
over with. There's a puddle of water here. Well, never mind. Let's just get this done, shall we?
Chin up, Edward. No one wants to look at that long face.
You're such an idiot, Gregory.
I'm fine, Rebecca.
Fine. You look like a nervous wreck.
Stop bickering.
Oh, shit.
That's Madame Carlisle taken care of. Time to get the file on Arthur Edwards.
Mr. Fernsby?
Mr. Witmer, you have enough evidence to present your case for Madame Carlisle?
No, not yet.
Come and see me.
Greetings, sir.
What's that?
I've got a body on the ground. I'm moving in.
Like Zachary. I've never seen a dead body before.
It must have been awful. Do you think it was a suicide?
I don't know. Madame Carlisle certainly doesn't think so. Why else would she have asked that detective to come here?
But murder? Was the blood?
No, not that I thought.
Still alive, huh? Good on ya.
Is hidden behind a portrait with a secret mechanism for uncovering it. It's got real soul.
First time here?
Yep.
Yeah, it's impressive, it was.
Peculiar icons above the safe. I wonder if they might be some sort of a code. Maybe have a look around the office, 47. Mission complete. Well done, 47.
Hello, sir.
47. They're everywhere. Go, get out! It's the Constantine. Shit!